સંધાન. ઓલ ગુજરાત ઇન્ટિગ્રેટેડ ક્લાસરૂમ.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
I am Vandana Kakade, Assistant Professor of English, Anandibai Raurani College, Vaibhavwadi from Maharashtra. Dear students, we are going to learn a poem today, Piping Down the Valley's Wild by William Blake. This is a very short poem written by Blake, but before going to learn the poem, we shall know something about the poet William Blake. He belonged to the pre-Romanticism period, and in this quotation you can see his romantic spirit. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. What is pre-Romanticism? Which period it was in the history of English literature? It was the latter half of the 18th century. It was a strong protest against the classicism or the rules of classicism. Classicism was characterized by nobility, austerity, elevated and dignified language. It focused on the aristocratic society. But during that period, there were some romantic poets who were writing in the romantic trend, and in their poetry we can find the claims of passion, emotion and imagination. So their poetry was a type of revolt against the classical poetry or the neoclassical poetry. These romantic poets showed love of nature and spontaneity. Among the major poets, William Blake and Robert Burns, we can call them the representative of the romantic period. William Blake was an English poet. He was painter and printmaker or engraver. It means that he did not printed his poems on the pages in a traditional manner, but on the other hand, he engraved his poems on the metal plates and colored them also. So he was a very artistic person, and this artistic quality we can see in his poetry also. He was a romantic poet influenced by French philosophers. He is unique due to his idiosyncratic qualities. It means that there are other romantic poets we see in the romantic revival, which starts from Wordsworth and Coleridge. Blake is senior to them. Before the romantic period started, Blake and Burns, they had wrote the type of poetry which we find in the coming or in the future romantic poetry of the other romantic poets. The same qualities of the poetry of Wordsworth and Coleridge you can find in Blake also, but Blake has his own qualities also. His uniqueness, that is, he was a mystic type of mystical quality, is also very important in his poetry. Blake's major works are Song of Innocence, published in 1809. In this volume of poetry, Blake presents happy and innocent world. Another volume of poetry is Songs of Experience, which was published in 1794. In this volume, Blake presents a world of misery, poverty, disease and repression with a melancholy tone. So these are two opposite volumes we can say. Now the poem we are going to learn is taken from the first volume, that is Songs of Innocence. It is the first poem in this volume. It is a type of introduction to the collection, and it sets the scene for the collection So from this poem we can understand what type of poems this volume has. Piping Down the Valleys Wild is a sweet lyric. It's a short, simple poem. It has a song-like quality. So we can say it is a song of life, song of happiness. Piping Down the Valleys Wild is very enjoyable. So we shall enjoy it first. I shall read it loudly. You listen carefully or read it with me also. Piping down the valleys wild, piping songs of pleasant glee. On a cloud I saw a child, and he laughing said to me, pipe a song about a lamb. So I piped with merry cheer. Piper, pipe that song again. So I piped, he wept to hear. Drop thy pipe, thy happy pipe. Sing thy songs of happy cheer. So I sung the same again, while he wept with joy to hear. Piper, sit thee down and write in a book that all may read. So he vanished from my sight, and I plucked a hollow reed. And I made a rural pen, and I stained the water clear, and I wrote my happy songs, every child may joy to hear. So in this poem we have a very simple idea. That is, the poet imagines himself as a shepherd. He is wandering in the valleys of a wild forest, and in his vision he sees a child on a cloud who is like an angel, and the child is laughing. In the first stanza, the child laughs with the poet, and poet in the guise of that shepherd is very happy to see that child. In the second stanza, the child orders the shepherd to play a song on a pipe, and the shepherd plays that song on the pipe. The child becomes very happy to hear that song. Then the child orders the shepherd, means the poet, to put that pipe aside and sing the song again, but this time using the words. And the poet uses now words for his song. The child becomes very happy. His greater happiness makes him weep. So the child wept with happiness to hear the song again. Then the child orders the poet to write that song in a book that every child may read in future. So the poet writes a song in a book. You can understand this book is the songs of experience, songs of innocence. And for writing this song, poet uses the natural resources. So we can have this natural background. We shall discuss about that background also. What techniques the poet uses to write this poem? There are some words. You could have understood the words from the nature. These are valleys, cloud, water, water clear, reed, rural pen. These words are the images used by the poet from the nature, and these words have some particular intention. This poem is a very simple idea, but these images show us that how there is purity and freshness of life. So background of this poem is pure nature, pure life, fresh life. There are two very important symbols the poet uses. These are child and lamb. These are traditional symbols for innocence. Lamb, here is also one more symbol used by the poet for Jesus Christ. Poet says, this Jesus Christ is like the lamb, spotless, innocent lamb. Blake was interested in the Bible. So in many of his poems, you can find the references to Bible. So in a sense, the poet wants to sing about God, sing about the child. That is the very reference to innocence and happiness. The poem has very simple diction, and the rhyme scheme also is very simple, and it adds to the nursery rhyme singing. That is, you can look at the poem again and see there that the rhyme scheme in the first and the fourth stanza is same, that is AB AB, and the rhyme scheme in the second and third and fifth stanza you can again see there is different pattern, that is AB CD. So in such a manner we can find the different rhyme scheme, and this rhyme scheme adds to the musical pattern of the poem. As far as diction is concerned, it's very simple. Poet has used a simple vocabulary because the audience he had intended was the child, or perhaps the people who had childlike heart or spirit. So in this poem we have seen that the poet has used the background of nature, the symbols which are traditional. All these qualities make him a romantic poet. Natural background tells us about that how the nature inspires us to write spontaneously. Blake wrote his poems in a spontaneous manner. He took inspiration from nature and created his sweet verses. The nature is inspirative for Blake. We can find a parallel between what is happening in the poem and the real act of creating the poetry. You can see that the child orders the poet to play the song, then sing the song, and then later on write the song in a book. The same thing happens with Blake also when he creates a poem. First he takes inspiration from music, nature, and then he writes that song. The first draft is first taken, and then finally he writes that song in a book which becomes permanent. So again here we see that for Blake, a written word is important than the spoken word. He wants to make his verses permanent so that the future generation can read all these poems and be happy. So this is a poem about life, about child, about God, about happiness. Everything is there. So students, I hope you will read this poem again and again and enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sandhan. All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.